they're on your agenda.
I think it's on my desktop.
I don't even look at it. Oh.
Oh, I know, I had them put the strip on there so you can get a visual.
Yeah, that helps.
I have 5 minutes. I'll be there. I promise.
I know, it's like.
He gets the check.
This one over here.
Thank you.
Record everything.
Wouldn't this just go right back there?
I mean,
Yeah, because I think John already paid the bill, right?
What do I do with this?
I think John already paid the bill.
Okay. We already paid this bill, I pulled it out of my check. My donation, but she addressed it to the district, not here. So I'll have John cash it and then tell John to put it in my account.
yeah, John.
No, I'll tell John.
Did you see my email?
Was it recent?
Oh, I was gonna say, nobody in Arizona has ever said.
Today? Haven't been in my office mostly.
Okay.
Let me look.
That one is the tablet they have.
That's right.
Well, this is what she wants, but I'm just saying that's what John did. Do we have any cases that are?
It's to you and Matt Santos.
Like,
I believe I hit send.
do you have something like that?
No.
Yeah, I just want the school to buy one and I don't want
There's something a little easier to carry. We can see if there's.
with the.
Those are nice because you kind of just strap it to your hand.
That was good.
Totally agree. So,
Do we have it as a district?
I know, but we need to have a decommissioning something.
Yep. Big.
And so we're gonna have to dig around on the history of it. So we'll get some folks,
There's somebody.
do a thing.
Yep. Sounds good.
And I asked Chris to try to figure out how to make it work. Because it's getting to the point where I don't think it's safe.
Well, they're Black Widow dens.
Well, I don't care about that. It's yeah, I don't care about that. It's just the sidewalk's not safe. It's
Right,
not
which I
ADA.
was
I'm
hoping to
waiting
get
for
done
one
this
of
summer as
the
well.
buildings to come, like a kid, and get in there and screw around. And I don't know if they would want the schoolhouse-y thing moved. The Hogan, once it's down because it's mud, but. And then the sidewalk is the timeline.
Right,
But
which
it's-
is a tripping
It
hazard.
is in such bad shape now.
can't get a
It's
wheelchair
not
down.
ADA compliant, so, yeah, I'm just concerned. We'll have some kind of a big decommissioning ceremony and.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime the pages.
Arizona had history standards in the 4th grade for years, so it was good, it was age appropriate and all that. But they moved it to 3rd grade and it's not, like, all the activities and stuff aren't really appropriate. So,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm in. Yes.
Yay.
I didn't say anything to him until the very end of the day.
Get something figured out, yeah, call Brenda, call whoever both were the original donators, like Teresa Kowalski at the Historical Society may be interested in the schoolhousey part, I don't know.
You're feeling brave enough to sit next to me tonight?
But yeah.
This is a pickleball player in the rough. Pickleball in the rough. Look, I'll get you this break. Larry said I had to say that to you. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
nuts.
Like,
Hey, Larry, how much should I?
I even had to use that. I even had to pay for it. Yeah, the next day I was like, yeah.
It just sound like there's too many devices in the location, so.
But
Yeah.
So like if you have a mold toxicity or mold sensitivity, eye sensitivity, those sorts of things, it only makes it worse.
You did win something on camera.
shake it off.
Oh, it is, I can't, I'll reschedule it, but I had to schedule it.
Good evening, all. Welcome to tonight's meeting. If you are able, would you please stand with me and lead the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 4 is our adoption of tonight's agenda. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Fantastic. A second?
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's gonna be a small little group this evening, so.
So we're gonna go back and forth
Yes. Not yet. Next is call to the public. I do have one form for call to the public, and that is Mr. Mark Spiegel. Did I say that correctly?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. My name is Mark Spiegel. I've been a coach in the basketball program for the last 3 years. The first year as a volunteer assistant, last year as your freshman coach, and this year as a volunteer assistant. First of all, I'd like to say that it has been a distinct pleasure to work with these kids. They're wonderful. Okay. Second, I'd like to say that I'm here of my own volition, not on behalf of anyone else, or any opinions I express tonight are my own. So why am I here? I am here to tell you that the administration of your sports programs here at the high school is broken. Okay, it's broken. I'm not going to enumerate the extensive list of, shall we say, issues that I've been party to over this academic year, in particular this last season. One, because this is not the right venue, and two, I want to get home for breakfast. But I am here to sound the alarm, raise the flag, blow the whistle, whatever you want to call it. From this point forward, nobody gets to say that they weren't aware that there's a problem. Okay, I'm telling you, there's a problem. If you choose not to act on it, if you choose not to see it as a problem as I do, that's one, that's up to you. But there is a problem. Further, I'm going to suggest that this is not a problem that's going to be dealt with by assigning it to the administration to deal with. I believe the board needs to get directly involved. And that means the board or subcommittee of the board needs to interview the appropriate administrators, your coaches, your assistant coaches. You need to talk to your trainer. And in her case, sooner would be better than later. Okay, figure out what's going on, where you want to be, and get on a plan, path to get there. As you can tell, I'm not happy about doing this kind of thing. The first 2 years, good. Were there issues? Of course. All right. But this last year has been a never-ending litany of dysfunction, broken promises, unmet commitments, missed opportunities, people who frankly are not taking pride in their sports programs and the kids who participate in them, and in some cases, active interference from outside with the coaches administering their sports programs. I have personally witnessed, been involved in, and been party to doing work that coaches should not be doing, because if we didn't do it, it wasn't going to get done. Dealing with issues that we should not be dealing with. Many of those issues should have never even existed. And in some cases, employees, and yes, I said employees, that is plural, not doing their jobs to what I consider a minimum acceptable standard. All right? This is not what I signed up for. So I resigned with Mr. Richardson this morning. I am done. I will no longer volunteer at Chino Valley School District. I leave you disappointed, disillusioned, and frankly disrespected. Okay? I will not donate any more equipment to the sports programs here, because in the past it was easy. This year it has been akin to an ongoing tooth extraction. I will no longer make booster club donations. The kids rate it, the coaches that I know rate it, the district does not. Okay, it's over. Here's the thing. The students, in this case the student athletes and their parents, deserve better than this. They have every right to expect better than the treatment that they've gotten this season. They have every right to demand it. They are the customers for the product that the school district is supposed to be providing. No product means no customers. And without customers, there's no reason for all of this, any of this, to exist. Right? I want to keep my remarks brief, so I'll stop there. But I want to say one more thing. I'm not happy about being here. I do not like the idea of lecturing you ladies on this. I do not like the idea of venting my spleen to you. But after spending this much time with these students this year, I cannot stand by in good conscience and allow them to not have an advocate for the headwinds that they are facing and they're going to face going forward without some changes. And at the end of the day, you're responsible for everything that happens in the district. So I lay this at your feet. I hope you see fit to look into it. I guess that's all I can ask for. I thank you for your time. Do any members of the board have any questions?
Unfortunately, we can't ask you any questions.
That's
However, I
That's
would
just fine.
thank you for the time that you did give to our kids, and thank you for your comments.
Again, the kids are awesome. I'd have never made it without them. Thank you for your time.
All right, are there any other cards? Seeing none, we're gonna go ahead and continue to move on to item number 6, which is our information and discussion items. Item A is, let me get there. Presentations, which first, item A, why can I not find item A? I'm sorry. All right, someone help me out here. What's item A?
We have our,
It just says presentation.
it just says presentation.
Okay, I feel so much
So
better.
it's, Matt Cronick is doing school safety, and then CVHS is presenting about their school and CTE.
Fantastic. Mr. Gronick.
I think this is just to prove that I actually can talk, not just stand the corner. Thanks for the time to speak with you about our ongoing activities and roles of the school safety and resource officers. We've got Officer Mike here. He's just wanted to sit in and see the whole thing. So I'm going to try and do a quick overview. It's not that brief, but I'll try.
Gotcha. Got you covered.
First thing, obviously, safety is our number one thing. So monitoring student arrival and departures every day at all of our campuses. It looks a little different at each campus because of the manner in which the kids arrive, whether it's by parents or on their own, and with the buses. Biggest thing is just that safe, welcoming environment. Being out there, welcoming them, in at the beginning of the day, and then seeing them off at the end of the day. I think that's huge. I think the other guys all find that just extremely important. It gives us a chance to see how the kids are feeling, be that smiling face that they get to see first thing. Dr. Moody is normally out there with me at Del Rio, and sometimes we'll have a kid that comes up and you can tell they're just kind of off that day, not their normal. Some kids just aren't morning people. I am not either. So I totally get that. But there's other times where you're like, yeah, something's not quite right. And then I pretty much need to stay out there because I'm that stopping point on the way in. But Dr. Moody will break off and go check on the kiddos for us. So that's a huge thing, building those positive relationships. And then that's our biggest opportunity throughout the day to interact with a huge number of the kids, other than maybe recess and lunch times. So that's one of our big things. Monthly safety drills, lockdowns, evacuations, shelters in place. Have to do at least one of those every month at every campus, and we kind of rotate through them so that the kids experience all the different pieces, and the staff do too. We go in and sometimes bang on the doors, try our keys, see how well they've done at barricading their doors, and we'll say, please open up, and make sure that they aren't doing that. We train the kids to be respectful and courteous, and so there's times that I'll rattle the door on the gym to make sure it's locked, and one of the kids will come over and pop the door open, and I'll remind them, yeah, you know me, and I appreciate that, but remember, we don't want to be opening those outside doors for unless we know it's safe. So those are the kinds of things we work on with that, and then just making sure our students and staff are prepared for those kinds of incidents. Lots of security. We've done lots of sporting events this year. All the football, all the basketball, the wrestling tournament at HMS. So we've done a lot of that, rotating us through different guys working them so that we can be there for all of them. Awards assemblies, we have quarterly assemblies. So we work all of those in the afternoons and evenings, or for ours, their morning time. But, folks, filtering the parents and families in and out and just keeping an eye on all of that. Our parent nights, our seasonal gatherings, just a lot of little extra pieces that aren't part of our normal day. Then monthly, we do a rotation. So we all see the different campuses, the staff sees us, the students see us. And once a month, we just go to one of the different campuses kind of on a cascading rotation. That way they all know us, they all know who we are, we see them, the staff sees us. And it's really, it's eye-opening because you see the different age levels. And it's kind of neat for me because, and I think for the other guys too, but you get to see your kids that have moved up to the next school. And it's neat to go on those rotations and, have them, Officer Matt, and getting to see them again and them getting to see you again. So that's kind of a neat deal. Still working on mapping the campuses. That's a project that is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And that's for the integration with our Share 911 and MutualLink. So if we do have an incident where we need first responders coming in, they have mapping of our campuses that's accurate and they can find their way. Right? Because obviously we know our campuses extremely well, but the rest of the first responders really don't know them like we do. And then working with IT on camera placements and new cameras and optimizing our camera placements to get the most bang for the buck out of where they are. There's always going to be blind spots, but we're gradually filling those in as we can. We also provide annual safety and first aid training for all the staff. It's one of the things that I think everybody needs, but doesn't necessarily want because of what it reminds them of why we're there. But it's really valuable. Mike's been doing a great job with some of the first aid and enhancing some of that training. And then just reiterating the safety things of how to lock down properly and ideas on what to do with 30 kids to keep them quiet for 2 hours if we're in a real lockdown, which is a challenge that I'm glad I don't have to deal with personally. Some of the law-related education the guys have been doing, bullying, what really is bullying, and then how we can deal with it. Unfortunately, vaping, middle school and high school especially, and then some at my level with the 3rd to 5th graders. Truancy, which as a district, we're awesome. I went to a truancy training last year, and they said statewide it's 70%-ish is average attendance, and ours was 94-ish at the time. And they said, well, why aren't you teaching this class? I said, well, that's not me. That's the administrators and the staff. And then at the high school level, the realities of turning 18. That the things you do as a 17-year-old may bleed over into being an adult. And I think that's extremely valuable for them to realize, the huge line there is between 17 and 18. And I know Officer Hawk's been doing a lot of work with that. So some of our other things at HMS, we have Cookie with a Cop. And that's beyond just cops. They bring in the firefighters and the paramedics. And I know the first couple of times it was like, why are there police cars and fire engines, whatever? It's like, they're just having Cookie with a Cop. Yeah. But, again, building those relationships, not just with us, but with the patrol guys and that trust there. And then just getting a chance to ask questions. I know there's a lot of questions that they have and misconceptions about our job, the firefighters' jobs, and they get those opportunities to ask those kind of things. And then at the end of the year, one of my favorite things that they do at HMS is the annual dodgeball game between the 8th graders and the PD. I know the guys at the police department love doing it. It becomes extremely competitive. The 8th graders have progressively gotten better and put up quite the fight the last couple of years. But again, it gives us that opportunity to really get to know them and them get to see us as people, not just a uniform or a patrol car driving around. So some of our goals, again, working on the mapping, which is an evolving constant thing. Conducting a mock evacuation. Eventually we'd like to get to where we do a full mock evacuation at the high school level and do the reunification so we can really feel what that feels like and where we might have some holes that we need to fill and patch. until you do it for real, it's, or at least as close as we can, you don't know what you don't know. So working on that, and then that continued integration of Share 911 and Mutual Link, so that, you know, our first responder partners understand what we're going to need when, if hopefully never, but if something were to really happen where we need them to respond in. Again, our focus obviously is safety, but really one of the most rewarding parts is the relationships that we build. Should have brought my water with me. Getting to know the kids, getting to know the families. No, I'm good. I'll make it. And really building those actual relationships, those personal relationships. You know, being a mentor, being a role model, having that chance to be a positive influence. And I think I'm speaking for all of us. That's really the highlight for us.
I gotta say, you guys are amazing. What a wonderful example you are. These kids, you don't know when they grow up and become adults, how much you've impacted their lives.
I appreciate that. We hope so. You don't know, but we hope so.
You do.
Not only that, some kids don't have a very good insight of what a police officer really
Right.
is. And you're reaching out to them and saying, I'm here for you. I'm not here against you.
Right, and that to me is probably one of the most valuable pieces, is not being adversarial, but showing them that we're really there for them. So I appreciate that.
And while they respect you, I think, and they realize that you are law enforcement, I think that some of them don't put two and two together, which isn't a bad thing. So I'm dropping my granddaughter off one day at school and I'm like, oh, look, there's Officer Gronick. And she looks at me and she goes, that's mac and cheese. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So they respect, but they.
Right. But it, you know, again, and then that's that being more of a person to them than just a uniform. So
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate all. Okay, next is student council report, I'm going to guess, or school report.
So CVHS CTE has their presentation,
Okay.
because we shorted Matt last month.
Okay, I saw Leah here, so I was just going,
Leah will roll after
fantastic.
Julie's
Miss
crowd,
Bryce.
You can go first. Okay, I'm fine with that.
and then Leah can leave.
Yeah.
All right, Leah,
Miss Leah.
you're on.
Just real quick, is the video part of my presentation?
No, it's part of mine, unless you want to take it.
No, you don't have to, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Thank you, I just wanted to make sure.
It's mine, honey.
Good evening. So a few highlights and stuff that's coming up on the campus is that on February 19th, we're going to host a Canes Night fundraiser. So we're looking forward to that and hope some of you will join us. But 15% of their profits of the night will be donated to student council to help with like the student activities fund. We also have our spring sports and prom assembly coming up. So that's a good opportunity for us to recognize our student athletes in softball, baseball, and track, and get everybody excited for this year's prom. And partner with administration, student council is also planning a 100th day of school celebration. So the teachers will be dressing old and the students will be dressing as nerds because it's like 100 days smarter. And so it should be fun and a lighthearted way to build school spirit and bring our campus together. Senior trip planning is also underway, and we have about 60 seniors that have made their first payments. The second payment is due this Thursday. So just a reminder on what it is. It's to Disneyland/California Adventure, and we will leave at 11:30 on May 6th. May 7th, we'll be at the park, and then we'll get back early in the morning on May 8th. That's all I have. So does anybody
Leah, would you
have
say
questions?
Canes Night again? What?
February 19th. Yes.
How many students have signed up to go on the trip?
60.
60.
Yeah.
It's a good group. It's about half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close.
That's pretty close to half.
That's
Pretty
nice. That's a good number. Any questions? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Miss
Thank you.
Bryce.
Okay, we're doing something a little different this year, ladies. So we're showing you a video. In our narrators of the videos, Leah Boudreau and Nareda Chavez Lopez.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Cougar News, Campus Connections edition, where we bring you the stories happening right here at CVHS.
And the producer is Anthony Torres. So I asked student council to create a video for us.
To show you what.
So we're gonna try.
Hopefully it works.
We'll give Austin some grace back there. He's doing great. Second meeting.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Cougar News, Campus Connections edition, where we bring you the stories happening right here at CVHS. My name is Nareda Chavez Lopez, your senior class president, and today we're stepping out of the studio and into the classroom to show you what learning really looks like.
We're starting in Ms. Ryman's classroom, where students aren't just reading, they're analyzing, debating, and making real-world connections.
Students are learning how to support their ideas with evidence and communicate clearly, skills are used everywhere.
So, even though a lot of students today want to have
Math class looks a little different these days. We work in groups and explain our thinking, not just good answers.
And learning doesn't stop with core classes. This is our Spanish class where students are able to be creative and learn skills we can actually use after high school. These electives help students explore passions and potential career paths.
That's Spanish class, we couldn't hear.
Career and technical education classes are all about learning by doing. We get to work with real tools and equipment just like we would in a job. CTE helps students earn certifications and build skills employers are looking for. From teamwork to technical skills, students are gaining experience that sets them up for success. All right. Hi, can you tell us your name and what sports you've been in?
I'm Jack Schwing and I play football and basketball.
All right. And what has been your favorite part about playing a sport?
My favorite part about playing a sport is probably just the camaraderie with the guys that I've been involved in the sport with.
Yeah, that's great. And how has playing the sport helped you grow as a person and a student here in CVHS?
Playing the sport has helped me grow by just learning to work with people that are a little bit harder to work with and being able to have a good teamwork with them.
All right. And what skills or values have you learned that'll carry you with you for life?
Some skills that I've learned, just how to be a team player, how to like play for one another and really connect and come together with your boys.
Yeah, that's
And that's
great.
about it.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Hi, can you tell me your name and what sport you play?
My name's Toby Retzler and I play volleyball.
All right, and what's your favorite part about playing this sport?
My favorite part about volleyball is probably just like growing and connecting with all the girls and like becoming a family with them.
Oh, that's really sweet. And what's your how has playing this sport helped you grow as a person and a student?
Playing volleyball has really helped me with like discipline and like showing up, like practice every single day and like working hard.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And what's a skill or value that you'll carry with you for life?
I feel like volleyball has taught me a lot about like time management because like I have to juggle being like in school and volleyball and like use my time wisely to get all my work done.
All right, thank you. Hi, can you tell us your name and tell us what CTE program you're in?
Hi, my name is Bailey, and I'm in my second year of biotech and HOSA.
All right, and can you tell us why you love your CTE program?
I love my CTE program because it opens up a lot of opportunity to like go experience things that are hands-on, and also I just love to be in Miss Calkins' class.
Yeah, that's great. And can you tell us why this class has helped you prepare for the future?
It's definitely taught me like a lot of communication for like being in the lab and stuff, and just working with others.
Yeah, that's great. And what's one skill you've learned that will follow you after high school?
Probably just like the same thing. Yeah. Like working with others and communicating well.
That's great. And in one sentence, can you tell us why people should join a CTE program?
You should join a CTE program so that it can show you what you like and what you want to pursue in the future.
Yeah, that's great. All right, hi, can you introduce yourself and tell us what CTE program you're in?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Guillermo Morales, and I am in Sports Medicine Year 2, Forensics, and HOSA.
All right, and what do you love most about your CTE class?
They're very freeing and fun, and how they're taught, it's a really great experience, and it's just something that you should probably do.
Yeah, that's great. And how has this class helped you feel more prepared for the future?
It pointed me in the right direction as to what I really want to do in college and as a career, but I haven't truly decided, but yeah, I will soon.
That's great. And what's one skill you've learned that will follow you to the future?
With sports medicine, obviously the CPR certification, which would probably help me in dire emergencies that I have to help out at.
Yeah, that's great. And in one sentence, can you tell us why people should join a CTE class?
Take CTE. It's very fun and it's really freeing as to what you want to do.
All right, that's great.
Okay. So then after that, I'm going to just talk a little bit and give you a few statistics and let you know what we're doing up there. So first of all, I feel like I work with the best admin team. Billy and Brian are phenomenal, and you really need to see them on campus interacting with the kids. It's a lot of fun. Habitudes, you approved that at the beginning of the year, and we have our monthly business partners that come in and teach leadership courses to our students. It's been very successful. Our community members are building relationships with our students and enjoy seeing them every month. They bring them little toys and snacks. I mean, they really enjoy the kids. And the kids are really enjoying that time as well. Our discipline is down 33% from last year's first semester, so we're really happy about that. And also our attendance is up from last year. It's 94%. And so it's up 2.4% from last year's first semester. So we're really seeing an increase of kids wanting to be at school and enjoying it. Right now, we're preparing for Aspire, pre-ACT and ACT. We're going to host a boot camp for about 50 students at the end of February. They'll start coming on Fridays and work on skills needed to pass ACT. It's really a tough test. They have like a little over a minute for each question. And so they really have to learn some test taking skills, not only know the content, but skills on how to take that test. So, right, this year we included Cougar time in our schedule. That's an intervention time, and we felt like we needed to put 30 minutes in our spell schedule this year for students to work on algebra and to build their skills. And also, so they did that first semester, and now this semester they're working on science. And we're using Khan Academy, a program that we pay for. We have Friday school every Friday, and we're averaging about 30 students a Friday. And so students can come and get caught up on work if they missed it, or they can come in and have tutoring with our science or math teacher that are there. So that's been very successful. I can guarantee and promise you that we are having high expectations and accountability for our students. But one thing I can promise you is that our students feel loved, they feel safe, and they feel respected. And that's probably the most important thing to me, is that our students feel that when they walk on our campus every day. That's really big for me. We celebrate our students and staff. We are celebrating quarterly for attendance. We serve ice cream to every student during lunch, and they love that. And my hand gets really tired and sore from scooping hard ice cream. But our kids love it. This year, for the first time ever, high school is celebrating the 100th day of school. And I told my staff at a staff meeting that the first grade teacher is coming out of me, and I want them to have fun. I want the kids to have fun doing a 100-day activity in their content. And as Leah told you, we'll be dressing up to look like we're 100 years old. And the kids are going to, they talked about this morning, dressing up looking a little nerdier because they're 100 days smarter. And so anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. We'll be serving cake at lunch for our 100th day celebration. And we're hoping that kids will want to be there and they'll have fun. Like I told my teachers, have fun. I want the kids to have fun, and I want you to have fun doing 100-day activities with the kids. We need to celebrate it. I'm just looking at my notes. We have a great team of teachers and staff. I'm very proud of their dedication of my staff to our students. I believe that relationships have grown this year, and they have really taken time to build those relationships with students. Right now, I believe our students are happy to be at school, and I'm really proud of that. So every day at CVHS, we're just proud to be out there. You know, the days I go home and I haven't spent any time with the students is when I feel empty. And so it's really important to me that we're out there during passing period, which we are as much as we can, and at lunches. And when I don't, or I like being at the gate in the morning, welcoming them to school and thanking them for being there. And when I don't have that time with the kids, I feel empty. And so if I'm feeling down and just tired of it all, I make sure I go out and interact with the kids because I have a lot of fun with them. So anyway, that's Chino Valley. What questions do you have?
You guys are doing amazing. Awesome.
Well, thank you. We all three, it's a great team. I couldn't ask for better guys.
Sure. I just want to thank you too, Julie. Having high school be a place to be is because there's so many things that have been down for a while, and having it at a place is awesome. So appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I had a student last week come up to me and tell me, Mrs. Bryce, it was so cool to have you as a middle school principal, but it's even cooler to see you as my high school principal. And so I love the kids, and they know I love them.
And it shows. Thank you for everything.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next is item 6B. Okay, yay.
You're good.
Item 6B, superintendent's report.
So I just wanted to say, it was really fun to watch the video. You can see how much CTE impacts the kids. Brian worked with the Mountain Institute board last week to have a new program approved for us at the high school. What's the official name?
Official name that's going to be on campus is Digital Media Arts. In short, it'll probably just be Media Arts.
So we believe that that will be a popular draw for our students. And I always chuckle because there are always people in the community, right, who think that we're doing kids a huge disservice by not teaching home economics and shop like when we were in school. But today's CTE is so much more. Yeah. It's industry certifications. It's a clear pathway to a career field and to more than a living wage, which is huge for our kids to know that they can leave high school and be ready to hit the workforce. Also, I want to say thanks to Matt and to his team. Mike came to support him. I know there are probably others online heckling him from his team. But I would tell you that having our school safety officers is huge in a million ways. And you guys recounted some of those tonight, but even a role model for our kids is really a big part of it. Our school safety grants are on a 3-year cycle. This is the last year of the current grant cycle that we have. So I attended a webinar last Tuesday morning to find out what we need to do to reapply for funds. So I've already been working with the principals on that, and it's first come, first serve on the grants. Rural schools have priority. So we'll be submitting that again. As a reminder, we've had in the past a school counselor at Territorial and at HMS paid from the grant. We've had Officer Hawk at the high school, Matt where he is, Mike isn't on our grant, and we have Hector who's kind of on permanent loan from Chino PD for us. So that's kind of how we funded those positions. And like I said, I opened the grant and got started on that last week. So we're ready to roll. Wanted to provide some updates about the new building for CVHS. As a reminder, when we get ready to break ground, we will have a large sign out here reminding folk that it's being paid for by the State School Facilities Board, especially in an era when we have to really tighten our belts in a million areas. It's super bad optics to be building a building that you can see from the highway. So the truth is, as a reminder to everyone and people who may be watching, that the State School Facilities Board condemned their term as end of useful life. 10 classrooms at CVHS that had originally been constructed as sheds, like actual sheds to store our fish hatchery stuff when we had fish hatchery and transportation barn and equipment and all that stuff. They were turned into classrooms in the 90s when we had a lot of growth. They were never intended to be classrooms. They can't be outfitted with air conditioning or things like that. So SFB decided that the buildings had reached their end of their useful life. We were one of the #1 sites in Arizona for that approval. And because of that, there's a little under 10,000 square feet that they'll be constructing to replace those classrooms. So high school admin team, facilities director, special education. We've all been meeting with the architect to go over how we want to use the new building, because it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing for most of us to get to do this. So we've finalized the floor plan. The site survey's been done, the soil conditions, the environmental engineering have all been accomplished. Those things it was determined that there would be extra funding needed because of just the nature of our soils and things like that. So I believe at the March meeting of the State School Facilities Board, they'll be asking for more money for that. But the new building will be going out here adjacent to the tennis courts, and they'll need to build it up a bit there. It's in like a detention area for runoff. And right now, we're looking at having a loop come around the tennis courts, like a fire lane loop that would go. And it would, because it's elevated enough, our buses that deliver our students who have apparatus and wheelchairs, they wouldn't need to put the lift down on the bus. They can just roll off the bus into the building, which is super cool, far more accessible that way. So in that building would be our centers program, which is for our most severely and profoundly disabled students, which has a large life skills component. So there's a kitchen, a washer, dryer, stove. We also have some therapy areas, some sensory areas. We have outdoor garden space. So kids can be working in the garden, learning to grow things, doing science lessons, but also for some of those sensory and calming areas for students who often feel very overwhelmed. We also have we have agricultural classrooms there that will have the big sinks that dirt and other things can, go down and be appropriately filtered. We have the media arts program. Our space will include audio recording areas for podcasts, video recording and production areas. And we really think that by utilizing the space this way, we'll be able to draw students to our programming. The art classes are in a building that has been condemned, and we'll be relocating art to where some of our current ag classrooms are, a little bit center campus, but already is set up for the water, concrete floors for the mess that ceramics and things makes, and have outdoor pad areas already for the kilns that have to remain outside. So for new standards. We have, those are pretty much the main things we're working on. Once we have the next set of renderings, and we'll bring those to share with the board so you can see what it's going to look like kind of from the outside and get an idea of what that floor plan will look like. But after working with special education, working with the architect, the engineers, and high school admin staff, we feel pretty good about the space. We also have a classroom in there for our extended resource students. So, and a meeting space, which we don't have anywhere at CVHS, for like IEP meetings with parents and things like that. So that's the way that we intend to use the space. Like I said, we're pretty close to the drawings. I think we're expecting kind of that last set of drawings again tomorrow for one final pass to make sure we didn't miss anything. So it's really exciting, to tell you the truth, to be able to do something that's new. It makes me feel really good. Like Julie said, I feel like our students deserve like a nice facility, right? So I think that's really fun. And we'll have air conditioning, which is amazing too, because the rooms that we're vacating will not. They still have swamp. So we are still expecting to turn the doorknobs for August of 2027 to have our first day of classes in there for that school year. They actually think they'll probably be done by the June prior, so that gives extra time for weather delays or like whatever might happen during construction. So it's exciting. And then I've also, we'll hear a little bit more tonight about the budget And we're continuing to work, admin staff, director staff, John, Heidi. We are continuing to work on creating a budget for next year that we believe is fiscally responsible. And we believe that will allow us to present small raises for staff that remain, which will be encouraging because a lot of people who will be taking on a little bit extra work next year. So those are things that we'll look forward to for the March meeting. And then I just listed some important upcoming dates, graduation, the fun stuff, right? And tomorrow I get to go around and do Employee of the Quarter. That's really fun. And honor our brand ambassadors, people who represent us well. And we have some gifts for them in partnership with Jed's Sandwich Shop, which provides a goodie and a certificate for free lunch for them. So we get to go do that tomorrow morning. And I purposely did not look at the list so I would not do what I did last quarter and say the names the night before. So like, we'll pause on that one. But they will be on our social media by tomorrow afternoon if you'd like to see the folks who were the staff of the quarter. And I just want to, again, remind the board sometimes what we do is that it feels like a thankless job, right? But you can, from the reports you even heard tonight, you know that you have a huge impact on our kids. So thank you, and take any questions you might have.
Questions, Marcia? Yeah. Will it be out in the marquee too? Or?
Oh yeah, it'll be on the marquee.
Okay.
And we'll have signs because, you know, people, they're all gonna, you know, we're gonna do some press releases and some ongoing stories, and we'll have little construction updates and on our social media and the website. And every time we do, we'll remind them that it's money from the State School Facilities Board. So.
Oh, yeah.
So then I did send the board today an email, a really well-written article by Superintendent Greg Wyman, who's at J.O. Coombs, who is also the president of the Arizona Rural Schools Association, which we belong to, really explaining and illuminating that Auditor General's report that we saw last month about the high risk, approaching high risk, some kind of invented titles that never really have existed before, but it's comprehensive, but it's super clear and straightforward. So I sent that out to you guys this afternoon. And I think it'll provide kind of like a deeper background for you as well. So
Thank you. Yeah, any comments or questions?
Thank you for all you guys do. Everybody's doing great.
Fantastic. Moving on, item 6C1 is our January 31st district expenditure report. Mr. Livingston.
And I want to tell everybody, will be in the mailboxes.
Oh.
You guys have it. You have the advanced copy. It's going out in the mailboxes this week.
Oh, nice. All right, Mr. Livingston, thank you.
Very good, very good. President Thomas, members of the board, Superintendent Daniels, Assistant Superintendent Wolf, staff, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. A quick look at the month ended January 31st of 2026. We're 7 months out of our 12-month calendar with expenses, with activities, with energy expended, everything you can think of. We're 7/12ths of the way there at this point in the year. A quick review of my 6-page report here. Going to mention a few different funds. Later in the agenda, in the meeting, we will look at revising our budget for the second time. Those of you that were able to make it July 31st, those things Superintendent Daniels was referring to, where districts are contracting with student counts and different things. July 31st was a really big day. We had so many expenditure increases in our sped department. We had to revise our budget before we would have been in a non-compliant status because we thought after it was budgeted correctly. So thank you. So with our operating fund, 19,206,000, that was the budget that we left it with that day. Our budget last year was 19,600,000. We spent 18,900,000. So that left about 690,000 carry forward. As you see, as we go along with our revision, hopefully we'll get to that in a little bit here for our action item. That's where we thought we might be with the same student count as last year, 19,206,000. So I was able to go back, and we're 100 lower than that at this point. And that 100 students takes around 700,000 right out of our budget. But by rearranging some funds and moving some revenue into some different funds, instead of staying at the 19,206,000, we're going to propose the budget that matches what the state has for us, increasing, not dropping back to 18.7 million, but increasing to 19.3 million. So that's due to 3 years, our revised year-end budget with some expense and revenue, and that's just a good situation. So it's not quite as grim as it looks here with the negative 1.75. Our budget is going up, and we discussed some of those funds last meeting. It was, I guess it was the December meeting. We discussed January meeting. It was the, too many meetings here. It was the funds that are run in the red all year long. They're called cash short funds. And magically at the end of the year, they have about another 700,000 in them because that's been collected as the year went by. And once that happens, we can move all those expenses out of our operating fund back into those funds. When that happens, these numbers where you see the negative 1.75 will actually be slightly positive. You see, so that's our current negative 1.75 on our projected ending balance in M&O. Capital, 25.32% spent. That budget will come down 105,000. M&O went up, in this case, 145,000. Adjacent ways will go up to $1,080,000 when we do our budget revision. Again, if you approve that, that gives us the 584,000 that we spent in adjacent ways coverage. And then if we do get some bids on the street and get some land asphalt or another contractor up here to do jobs before the end of the school year, we've got the budget capacity to do it because we're raising another 500,000 in that fund, adjacent ways. Any questions on the front page there? Going forward to page 3 in your packet. Hopefully you can see that. That's the vertical page with lots of funds and lots of information there. And I'd like to just draw your attention to 3 of those. Fund 500 school plant. You've probably never heard me talk about that before. And that's the first one. Fund 500 school plant. We're really fortunate because we have cell phone towers in our district. Each month we get around $4,500 from a couple providers like Sprint and AT&T to use that tower for Chino Valley service. So that rent goes right into the revenues. You see the revenues there at this point, 25,000. It's going to be more like 80,000 when the year ends. Our current cash in there is over 100,000. That fund is kind of unrestricted. It's great for capital items, but we can do a lot of things with it. Down to 570 in the middle of the page and a little bit lower. Started the year with 286,000. At the end of January, 103,000 left. And there's encumbrances as well of 64,000. And the indirect cost is what we shave off of the grants as if we were using those grants to pay for our utilities, to pay for our overhead, like some salaries for staff. And we're able to take in some cases about 6% of those grants and keep them at district, just like it was a legitimate expense, like a salary or a travel. And the last fund is 691, building renewal. It's 5 or 6 up from the bottom. You see revenues, 3.5 million, and expenditures, 3.5 million, and about 10.6 million still encumbered. And there's 3 things I'd like to mention. The building superintendent Daniels just discussed the end of useful life is 4 million. We've got $6 million worth of weatherization projects that the state hasn't approved yet. Del Rio alone is over $1 million. That one is funded and approved. We've got 4 window projects over 600,000 that are waiting, but they haven't been approved yet. And we've got 2 more fire alarm projects we hope to get approved at some point. One, we have bids for 340,000 for the high school. At some point, we also want fire alarms for territorial. Our insurance company, the trust, approved about, it was over 280,000 2 years ago for new fire alarms at HMS. And the state put in new fire alarms last year, Del Rio, for 140,000. So those are all inside that fund 691 when they get funded. That's why you see the 10 million encumbered there still. And that's really all I have for financial report tonight. Any question?
Questions?
I have none.
Question? No, thank you. We'll move on to student financial reports.
Thank you. Okay, to continue, I do have one piece of just information. I'm not sure how many, I think it's 13 schools, Brian, you might know this, that participate in the Mile High Wrestling over Christmas, between Christmas.
Oh, more than 13 schools.
13?
Yes, probably one of the top 3 largest competitions in the entire state for wrestling.
So maybe pushing 20?
30,
schools?
pushing 30.
And we see the revenues on the student activity, $11,753. I've gotten calls from Joel and Holbrook High Schools. At one point, they had the wrong address to send their registration fees over. So schools all over the northern part of the state want to go to that tournament. We know that. And it was, I think, really well done. I've heard good feedback about it. A lot of planning, a lot of district time went into that. And kudos to everyone involved in high school sports for that.
Probably really kudos to Darylyn Rock. She's the brains behind that these days. She's the one who leads that and heads that up. So a lot of kudos to her.
I get involved in getting insurance. So if a student athlete is injured at that event, it's covered as if it happened in our own campus. And that's about where I am. Well done. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, seeing none, we're gonna move on to item 7A, tonight's consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll motion to accept our
Consent agenda.
consent agenda, I'm sorry.
Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Fantastic. All in favor?
I
Just went over my head.
That's okay. Let's see where we're at. Still getting used to the computer, guys. All right, let's go to item number 8, which is our personnel. And item A is personnel report. Ms. Wolf.
Madam President, Ms. Daniels, board members. On our February personnel report includes 1 new classified employee, 4 retirements, 8 resignations, 1 certified change, 1 classified change, 10 coaches, and 2 extra duty employees.
Any questions or comments? Once again, seeing none, I will entertain a motion for tonight's personnel report.
I'll motion to accept tonight's personnel report.
I
That
will
is a second.
that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 8A is the personnel February 25-26 updated job descriptions, evaluations, and salary schedules. Ms. Wolf.
HR has been very busy working on updating job descriptions, salary schedules, evaluations, and that's just part of our commitment to organizational clarity and fair compensation. So these are just some of the things that we do. So I broke it down into, and their numbers, so if you have any questions. So for speech and language pathologists, we have 2 retiring pathologists. So we needed to update our job descriptions because they have been with us for so long. And also the salary schedule and also our athletic trainer position. So those have both a job description and a salary schedule. Under our next 3 jobs, job description evaluations for our IT tech, network administrator, and our IT director. And I get feedback from our staff when I design or create these job descriptions. I have them look at it and give input in case I'm missing something. And then the final one is just job descriptions only, is curriculum and ed tech coordinator. That will be a new position for the upcoming school year. And also we had a retirement, so we're looking for a career exploration teacher. So with Mr. Pareda and Ms. Bryce, we've looked at that and updated that particular job description. Also, the new position of digital media arts teacher. And then we have a teacher on assignment, which is the HMS Dean of Students and Athletic Director. So those have been updated. And this is to start, the job description evaluations are for the current school year, and a salary placement is for the upcoming year.
So how close are you to being done?
I'm 80. Like done, like she's
No,
retiring.
with the job descriptions. I know the answer to that one, yeah.
I think 80%. I have to just go through and double check everything, but I'm just about done.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
Lots of hard work.
Done and over it. Yeah.
It was on page
Page 91.
something like that, yeah.
90, yeah, was the start of it.
Okay.
All right, any questions for Ms. Wolf on this one? All right, this too is an action item, and I will entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Good
I
job.
move to approve the updated HR documentation for speech and language pathologists, athletic trainer, facial technician, network administrator, IT director, curriculum and ed, tech coordinator, career exploration teacher, digital media arts teacher, and teacher on assignment at HMS.
Good job.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Second, I'm glad you did.
All in favor? Aye. All right, item 9A, CVHS course description for school year 26-27.
Hello, ladies, again. So you have in front of you our course descriptions for 26-27 school year. And what crossed out are things that we'd like to remove from the course description book, and highlights are what we'd like to add. I do want to bring your attention to page 6, where it says Yavapai College Associate's Degree Opportunities. We are very, very, very excited about this, bringing this to the campus next year for the class of 2030. That'll be the first year cohort to have an advantage of this. So we are working with Yavapai College to have a pathway to an associate's degree, and that could be an Associate of Arts or Science or even business, whatever they want. And they'll work with their counselors. And so the class of 2030, their second semester of their freshman year, they'll take their first 2 courses with Yavapai College. And we will have next year, we're happy about and excited about this, we're going to have a CTE/YC lab. And because there are a lot of CTE classes that are offered online, and our YC classes are good for the pathway will be online as well. And so we have someone that is going to take that over and run that. And we're really excited about having them in one area and having that constant support with that personnel.
Julie, can you talk about how that impacted why you see all the dual enrollment
Right.
strike-throughs? Yeah.
And so what you'll see when you look at mathematics and English, you're going to see strike-throughs. For example, on page 9, you see strike-throughs for math 142, 167. Those are going to still be offered, but they're offered online in the lab. Okay, the same, and for 231 as well, and the same for English. If you look on page, I don't see. We are like English 243 is going to be online. Instead of offering them in person, those classes will be online. And those classes are going to be used in the pathway. So most of the pathway is going to be all online. What will be in person is our, there they are. They're on page 27. You'll see YC 242, 217, 142. All of those will be offered, but they will be offered online. We will offer 101 and 102 as a dual enrollment, as well as pre-calculus will be offered as a dual enrollment, which that means a teacher, they're at the high school with the teacher right there, and high school teacher teaching it.
So we have, one of the things that we really talked about when we met with Yavapai College, and this is a big change. And one of the things that we had talked about with the college was what kind of academic support would the kids have? Since it's online format versus taught by one of our instructors who's approved by the college. So having the YC lab is the first step because there is a proctor in there the whole time. The second piece is that now it gives them complete access to the whole YC Learning Center. So they have access to all the online tutors, which they did not have before, and they have access to all the in-person tutors on the YC campus. So it broadens the kind of support that the kids have for learning, and it also helps them get warmed up into that format, which is that online and in-person format. Most of a big change for YC as well is that their classes are going to 8-week classes instead of 16-week classes. And so the kids will have fewer classes at one time, and they'll have more support directly from the college, which we felt was something that, like, we felt way more confident about bringing this recommendation forward, knowing that they would have even more support available than they have now.
Yes. So any questions about the YC change up before we move on?
Great.
I'm really excited about it.
Does it cost
I've
the
heard-
students anything?
What's that?
Does it cost the students anything?
Cost the students absolutely nothing to graduate with an AA or AS or A. I'm really excited about it. When we met with YC to go over our dual enrollments and concurrent classes in the beginning of the fall, I asked why we don't do a pathway, because I've always heard there's other schools in our community that do it. Why don't we do it? So I'm really excited that Megan and Dean from YC have been working with us to get this on our campus. I think it's exciting. I'm going to take you to 16. So you see advanced theater is crossed out. We're not getting rid of theater. We're just combining the 2 theater classes because my theater teacher next year is also teaching yearbook. She's teaching dual enrollment and she's teaching senior English. And so there's not enough time in the day to have 2 separate theater classes. So that's why we're just going to combine the intro and the advanced to have 1 theater class, okay?
So how many students can be enrolled?
Well, there could be up to 25, 30 in that class.
That's really all we have now.
Yeah,
between
that's
the
all we
2.
have between the 2. So we're just going to combine them. So I think that's big cross out. Cindy mentioned it earlier, that we are adding digital media arts. Thank you to Brian. He went last Thursday and had that approved by Mountain Institute. So we're really excited about that. And we have 3 wonderful applicants already for that class. So very talented people that could come in and teach that. We are adding a year 3 to culinary arts, and that's on page 24. So that's a big excitement on campus as well. Bernie's very excited about adding year 3 to culinary arts. What else?
I did read everything that was under there. It really does look, and the things that were highlighted, it really does look like it's going to be amazing and work very good for our students.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really great. I'm excited about the changes next year and how it's going to benefit our students.
Mrs. Bryce, can I make an addition?
Yes.
So when Mrs. Bryce was talking about the Associate of Arts degree the kids could pursue, one of the cool things that we also discovered, or just kind of put the 2 together, is now students who are taking their automotive classes, their aviation classes, their cybersecurity classes with Mountain Institute, those could actually be part of the associate's degree. So it could be an associate's degree in automotive or an associate's degree in cybersecurity or law and justice studies. So we're able to combine the 2 types of programs to get them a directed associate's degree within a specific career field, if you will.
So they could graduate with certificates as well of completion.
So Brian and John, about how much money do we receive from Mountain Institute annually to support programs like this on our campuses?
Ballpark 270,000.
I'm closer to 300, I think.
And the reason I brought this up is there was a bill introduced in this legislative session to eliminate that funding to schools.
It's gone to committee yet?
Yeah, they're all being heard in committees in the next couple weeks. So I will keep you posted, but it's sickening in a world when this is what our kids need, that the legislature wants to completely kill funding that comes through career and technical education districts to support programming at local campuses.
So can the parents contact any legislators?
Yep, so if the bill makes it out of committee to make it to the floor, then Brian will be able to provide information about that because it's really astounding when you think about, how much we hear, right, about, kids need to have, high school needs to be relevant. It needs to have things like this. And in turn, to think about killing all of that kind of funding is discouraging. And in rural communities, that funding that comes to Mountain Institute and then comes to us to support programming on our campus, those are all called satellite programs. That way, kids from other campuses can come here and take them too, because there is no, like, it would be a waste of money for Mountain Institute to build a large central campus to house all those things. This is a more expedient and cost-effective way to deliver it. But we have legislators who think that that money, like that if local districts value having that program, they should find the money for it.
And they should give us more money for other things.
Well, there's that. But so I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention because you've heard some pretty awesome stuff here tonight. And to think that the funding that supports those programs could be completely wiped out for next year is deeply troubling.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, any questions, ladies?
Okay, thank you. This also is an action item, so I will entertain a motion to approve or deny.
This, I'm gonna make sure I got the right one. I will move to approve that Chino Valley High School Administration and counselors are requesting the 26-27 SY course descriptions be approved. Thank you.
And I shall second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Item 10A, our revised budget. Mr. Williams.
Oh, yes. Madam President, members of the board. This is the second revision then since the July 31st revision. If you can look at a couple documents, this one's on your clipboard at the back. It's called Expenditure Budget Report. It used to be called the Budget 25 Report. And there's a couple numbers I want to refer to. On page 1 on this little report is our M&O budget, and on page 2 is our capital budget. And then if you can take a look at the big budget, the big legal landscape one on the side, you see a couple numbers on page 1, right at the very middle of the page on the right, 19,350,000 for budgeted expenditures in M&O, and then 778,713 on page 1. This is our big budgeted legal budget here. And we're going to go back to page 7 and just see where those numbers came from. If you go back to page 7, thumb through the big legal one, and you'll see there's about 6 numbers in a row here that make up that 19,350,000. And if you just kind of follow me, I've got this one straight up. It's a portrait side. And this is the new money for the year. You see to the far left, 17,204,000. That's the money that our students generated for operating the district. Then you drop down right below that, the 1,227,000. That's the capital money they generated this year for the school. So put them together, there's 18,431,000. And last year we spent 18,900,000 even. So there's a gap there. So we have to make up that gap. We want to close that gap so we can leave capital alone and just pay our salaries and things from our operating funds. So start down column A. You see that whole amount that students generated, the 17,204,000 on the top, it stayed in the M&O line, which is A. You could move some of that over to line B, the capital fund. We didn't do that. But you see the 1,227,000, that could all go to line B if we wanted it to for capital. We moved 850 back into M&O. You see that. Now we'll just continue down M&O because the 377,000 we moved over to capital stays there, and that's the only new money capital got. So moving down column A, you hit the line 8A, and you see the 982,761. That's up from 690,000. That's what all the rewriting of AFRs and rewriting of budgets took that number up from 690 carryover in M&O to 982, almost 300,000. And that's something I started in July and August in the Department of Education. Had to keep redoing these little second page budgets that you see because every time I would revise a budget, they would have to process this report to advance that increased budget in M&O to the next year. Did it for 22 year, 23, 24 year, and last year. So we're
kudos to John.
Yeah.
That took an insane amount of effort to scrape $300,000 worth of pennies forward.
The pennies, that's about what it came down to. And not only did school finance help, the Auditor General got involved because they wanted to approve 3 years in one shot. That's pretty atypical. They're not used to seeing someone get that aggressive at trying to to place expenses in these other funds and get them out of M&O. So M&O carry forward would be increased. So following down, so that's where we were, the 690,350. Now it went up to 982,000. And then you get down to line 9F, you see that 313,000. We like those dollars. And you see the FRPL, free and reduced lunch payments. So those students, along with some extra money from capital, equaled another 313,000, and that's the 19,350,000. So then you take a look at page 1 of 2 here. If you look in the lower right corner, and that's exactly the number the state came up with for our students after these calculations were made, 19,350,000, which is pretty cool because it's only really 250,000 less than last year's was when we had another 100 students last year. So that's kind of closed the gap. Any questions on the M&O funds here on page 7 where we came from? The two big things that we just have to really recognize, I guess, is it's basically 1.8 million there that came from carry forward and came from capital transfer. Otherwise, our budget this year, instead of being 19,350, would be more like 17,400,000. So, and that would be difficult. So then we turn to page 8. Page 8 is landscape, and hopefully you can see page 8 there on the next page. And page 8 looks at all the capital, and there's 3 numbers basically we'll follow in capital. And page 8 is, if you can follow it there, we had our budget last year, $1,029,000. That was where we were budgeted. You go down to number 6, our expenditures on that were $723,000, which left us $306,000. So we brought in $306,000 from last year. And this is kind of a record. We've been trying to keep cash in capital, and it's been difficult. But if you look at line 8, we brought in $94,570 just in interest. So that's really helping us this year because that gets to add to this year's budget as well as the $306,000 we didn't spend last year. Then you jump down to line 11, and you remember that number 377, that came from page 7 that we got from New Year's money. You add that to the others, you get the New Year money, 778, 713, and then you go back to what they have at the state for capital, and you see the 778, 713 right there. So we're used to spending 1.4, 1.8 million in capital when we need to. Now we're way down to 778, 713, but it's going to cover us this year. And we hope to lean less on capital again next year as we reduce our costs, our operating costs, and we can, again, hope that some of these capital items can help us with decaying or aging out equipment and vehicles, even if you need. But we're really transferring that 850 to M&O. And you saw in the report we looked at back in December and January that Superintendent Daniels mentioned from the Auditor General, transferring capital dollars to M&O is kind of discouraged because they like to leave that for salaries. But in our case, we've lost so many students, over 300 students in the last 3 years. That's a nice option to have. So so if you approve the budget tonight, you'll see that budget increase from 19,206,000 for M&O to 19,350,000. You'll see capital go down from 882,000 to 778,000. And you'll see adjacent ways go from 654,000 to 1,080,000 because we want to have that in place if we do get some bids and decide to do some more fire lane projects this year. And that's a quick overview.
What a question. When you dream at night, do you dream numbers and budgets?
Or do you not dream at all?
Yeah, or just not.
Well,
John's dreaming about salmon these days.
Yeah, well, we've got a salmon trip planned for Alaska the last 3 weeks, last 1 week of June. So Alaska salmon fishing is a good thing to just take the place of these. But it was fun to have 4 people, Mac and Ryan and Blake and Greg in school finance and Christopher Trubeck at the Auditor General, knowing what we wanted and then helping us for just about 2 months straight. Because I couldn't amend the 24 year until I had the 23 numbers revised. And then I had to go back in the AFRs and rewrite them and submit them. So it was great because it's just everything we could do to help. We want to do that. So.
You guys are doing an amazing job, I think. I would like to make the motion to approve the 2026 expenditure budget as a revision.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty then. Item number 10B is our HMS reconfiguration.
Okay. So we have, as you heard last month, We presented many options for saving the district some money. As John's pointed out, we can't, because of our enrollment decline over the last 3 years, like everybody around us and all over the state, we need to do some significant trimming in the budget because transferring continuously from capital makes us leave some projects undone that we need to shore up. We do believe the administrative staff and the director staff have been working on recommendations since October. The one that actually needs a vote is reconfiguring grade levels at our campuses. Now, typically, this has not required a vote of the board in the past. You could just have whatever grades at whatever campus without any kind of board approval. Of course, we would always bring things like that to the board because it's important. But this year, school finance said that there needs to be a board action and that it needs to be approved by the state school facilities board. So we called the state school facilities board and they had never heard of that. So they were like, what are you talking about? So we said, well, school finance is saying that you guys have to approve what grade levels we have on what campuses. So later I gave it a little bit more thought and thought, yeah, well, it's probably because of various things like, facility size, the nature of how the facility was designed, things like that. So we did get an email back from SFB that said, we don't really care what you do. 3 of your 4 buildings are already okayed for K-8. So Territorial, Del Rio, and Heritage, as far as school facilities board is concerned and their paperwork, are K-8 schools. So we are free to move grade levels around among those campuses as long as it stays really between preschool, but pre-K through grade 8. So, and we got the okie dokie from them. We have that in writing. And so tonight, what we are asking is that we're actually reconfiguring 2 campuses. We tend to think of it as just one, but we're actually reconfiguring 2 with grade levels. So we would have HMS would house grades 7 and 8 only, and Del Rio would house grades 3, 4, 5, and 6. We used to have grades like 1, 2, 3, 4 at Del Rio. We've had all kinds of crazy combinations, honestly. But this one, current 5th graders would remain at Del Rio next year. The only people that are moving are the 6th grade teachers. So we've had 6th grade teachers, we've had teachers from HMS express interest in making that move. We also have positions that we needed to hire for because people are retiring or moving out of state, things like that. We've had lots of good interest in those kind of jobs. So we're asking this evening that the board approve formally for school finance that the grade level configuration for Del Rio would be 3, 4, 5, and 6 starting in August, and that the HMS configuration would be grades 7 and 8.
I have already heard one positive from a parent saying they're glad because both their kids will still be in the same school.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
I just wanted to let you know that. I had a parent say that too.
Just in case anybody wants to know, I've had 0 phone calls and I had 1 email about it. I think I copied the board maybe on my response to that. And after I answered the questions that the gentleman had, which kind of were like larger questions about school finance, his response was, wow, that totally makes sense. Those are great ideas. I'm glad to see you guys are so transparent and are working hard to solve it within your means. So I thought that was positive. But otherwise, I don't know if any other administrators in the room this would be a great time to ask. But as far as I know,
I've received a lot of positive feedback on doing this. Have you guys out there? Yes.
I've probably talked to a dozen families and nobody's expressed any negative concerns.
even though their kids have to stay with you an extra year.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay. I'll make a motion for the approval of new grade level configurations for HMS and DRS beginning with the 2026 through the 2027 school year.
No second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, item 10C, lease of building space.
So the next thing, I honestly never thought I would be doing this in my whole career, but here we are. We will have, based on your last agenda item, we will have 9 empty classrooms at HMS. We'll have a couple left at Del Rio. We'll have a couple at Tech. We have several, I haven't even counted CVHSs. But the only campus right now that we are considering leasing space on next year is HMS. So we've already had 2 programs. One is a private program, and the other one is a state level program. Express interest in leasing space from us. So we're in the process of exploring what does that mean with the attorney and all that kind of thing. We've had people come and tour the campuses to see, because I thought if they look at it, we're like, heck, no way. Then I was like, oh, why bother? But as you know, costs money to leave stuff sitting vacant. You can't, things deteriorate when they're unkept or uncared for. And what I am asking really for is your blessing to pursue leasing space to private programs or state level programs that would be both financially beneficial to the district and programmatically beneficial. Because as you know, we pay big money to send students out to private programs in other places. I would like to go on the record as saying, I think a year or 2 before I came to the district, Chino used to lease space to a program, a regional program in the trailers that were out here along the bus lane. The kind of program that was housed there at that time is not the kind of program that I would consider because it put juvenile offenders on the campus. And so although they were removed from the campus-ish, that's not something I'm comfortable with. Pretty sure none of you would be either if we talked about what kind of offenders. But to that end, we only would be asking to potentially put people in the buildings that would have, be mutually beneficial. So curriculum-wise, student-wise, and financially. So I'm asking for your blessing this evening to seek potential lessers.
So have they said how much they're willing to pay for rent or?
So right now we have facilities working on what's a good value for somebody who wants to lease commercial space on a school campus, right? Because they would have, custodial services that they would benefit from. They would have IT services they would benefit from. And I want to point out that by doing this, it helps us save a few positions that we might be looking at needing to eliminate at the March meeting. So I'm hoping to have some movement on the leasing bit if you guys approve it. But so we're looking at a cost, because sometimes it's like, what will a charge be? But sometimes would it be more beneficial, for us to send students to a private program at a significantly reduced cost and adjust the rent accordingly, or charge them full rent and pay full program fees? So it's kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of another. But facilities is working on what is an appropriate amount for leasing. There are 2 districts in our county that have been leasing space to private programs, one for 7 years. So our attorney's reaching out to that district to see, okay, what are you charging and how does that fee structure work? And so we're working on all of that. In my mind, if it helps offset the cost of putting kids in private programs, and it allows us to save some positions that we don't have to have a reduction in force.
Okay, I do have one question. Will they have their own APS meters at those buildings to pay their own electricity?
No, that would all be part of the rent.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, will the board have final say in the leases?
Yep, absolutely. So this is just kind of the permission to go forward and seek potential leasees. However, should we have those emerge, then we can have an executive session for those kind of contracts and stuff, hopefully at the March meeting. So
Okay, well, I'll make the motion to authorize CVUSD to see potential lessors for unused classroom space.
And I'll second.
And I will ask all in favor.
I'm not gonna, no, aye.
Oh, aye, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, item 11A is our first reading of policy advisory 960, which is, looks like it's audits and financial monitoring. Some good reading, yeah. All right, let's see.
I did find a few things that I was discussing with Marty about.
Is that in the audits one or in item 11B, first chapter, first reading of chapter social media policy?
We were discussing B.
Yeah, A is just first reading. I don't think we have any questions, so let's go on to
We
B.
don't.
Okay.
Kim, Kelly?
Madam President, Superintendent Daniels, members of the board. This evening, I'm bringing forward chapter 5 of the policies, which focuses specifically on students.
Is chapter 4.
Am I
social media.
backwards?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with chapter 4, which is the social, it now is the social media policy is now embedded into it. We brought it last month without the social media policy. At the time, we wanted legal counsel to take a look at it first. So now it is all together for your approval.
So is this a second reading?
This is first read because the social
Because of
media
the
was
social-
not
Thank
embedded.
you, thank you.
So we're having
All
a
right.
second first reading. How's
Second
that?
first reading.
Second first reading with no action. Okay, got it. All right, anyone have any questions or comments, concerns?
Looks pretty good to me.
That's first reading. You good?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
email.
Oh, you guys have already been talking?
Grenier and I have been exchanging emails, yeah.
Fantastic. All right, then we'll go on to chapter 5.
And then we also presenting chapter 5, which is focuses specifically on students. And this is for the first reading.
The first, not the first, second. Next month will be what, the second, third?
Yeah, just to make it really confusing.
Okay, fantastic. Any questions on chapter 5? I'm still trying to get there, so.
272.
Lots of words. Perfect. All right, first reading, then next month we will go ahead and do the approvals for it.
We may do forms.
Okay.
And all like the forms and stuff next month.
Okay.
Before we do that allows everybody to really dig through it and questions and
Agreed.
we're okay on time. We're actually 2 months ahead of schedule.
That's wonderful. Thank you for all your hard work on it.
Yeah, Marty, thank you so much for answering my questions and being on top of everything. I appreciate it.
That internship's paying off.
Thanks, Martin.
What else can I get out
What else
of
can you throw
it?
away?
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, item number 12 is executive session. If I could have someone motion to go into executive session.
A motion for us to go into executive session.
And may I revise that? Can we have a 10-minute break?
Yes, we can have a 10-minute break.
Second?
I'll take the second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, y'all are more than welcome to stick around or we'll see you next
So
month.
John's got signatures.
That's why I wanted the 10 minutes. Yeah,
Heidi, would you?
It's like the old coyote, you see the dust.
Just in case.
do you want this one signed?
This can't be the
Yeah, I'll pull it out.
I'm just gonna go over the potty.
No, you know what? Yes. But I hate both of them. But Seahawks are part of the Niners.
That's
part of the
true,
West,
that's
so
true, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of a national.
Pick a different one to
Which
sign.
halftime show did you want? No, but I was.
I understand Spanish, so.
The only thing, I cannot understand the word. Now, I know that it's the Spanish, but
It's the rap,
I understand. Like, I couldn't even understand the Spanish words, like, I could really make it out. It was like a mumble.
It's the mumble rap that he's doing.
However, I was on my laptop for the entire first half and half. I really got that.
I actually really.
Was that a neighbor's house? Future neighbor. All 4 TVs got this going. Every other one, so what? We were like, we're not what?
Yeah, so if it makes that committee, keep it going.
Thanks, Austin.
Sorry it didn't come up right away. Yeah, of course, the perfect timing to like, do that, do this. Of course.
Thanks for getting that quote.
Yeah.
We'll work out getting that tomorrow.
If she's observing you Wednesday, she has to participate.
Sure. Against like evaluation.
She's absolutely right.
What do you think there's room?
Yeah, there's all these evaluations.
You know what, here's a good
Next day you go in.
So the day I'm observing is special, no, it's like,
Once they ship
Do I
it.
and then the next day you guys will have to send me out to go help her. And then or you guys
Imagine.
these things.
But I'm doing it all day Wednesday and Thursday.
Mr. C and I have both played.
In total.
But all day Wednesday and all day Thursday. You can make it.
Yeah.
We'll even teach you how to do the dance.
Thank you.
I'm excited to put it all together.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Theater.
I'll see,
Whenever
I'll
you're
be,
done.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we
be
can put it
here.
on
Theater
for the
sounds
time
good.
and whenever, because it's like Heidi and I don't have any conflicts, so whenever you're done, it's fine.
I have a 9, 10, and 11 here, and then.
Right.
That's how long they take.
Yeah, whatever.
I heard back from Ed Leo today, so we have a meeting.
So I sent you all the information we have.
Use the clipboard for next time.
Okay, because
I like
I like
it.
to hand it to you. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna watch.
She always
Well,
stirs.
kind of comes in, right, so.
Matt.
They have to, Emily has to do something. I had said that you double check your
Page 10.
I have signed two at page 10. No, Cheyenne has the one that I signed.
Okay.
She was passing it around. You can have that one.
If not, we'll just.
And this one will be the second one. Just Renee on that one.
So there's
No,
3 now?
this, no, well, do you want, well, this one doesn't have a page 10.
Oh, right. So this one's okay.
Yes,
So I just need to find this Beverly.
yes.
So he doesn't want to. So instead of saying,
Gives them a dumb answer.
I don't know the answer.
Smile and wave.
And he goes, and I don't think he
So
wants
then
to
I'll
go to
find
you guys
her,
to
because
ask
you're
me,
down in the
but
rest.
he doesn't know.
And then you got this one right back here, which is probably the back. Yeah, you got that one. And this building.
Today he isn't. Cheyenne has one and then this.
You better hope I wake up in a better bed.
Then I think that's it. And the one Cheyenne has all.
No, he isn't. And I'm gonna tell you something.
I mean, when he wants to be a police officer, probably still. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Something that's wonderful.
Such a,
Today was.
the grid picture is not so nearly where I was. It's actually so nice.
Bringing a million forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Well.
Probably not.
Yeah, for sure.
Transfers, that's what we got.
So I can leave this here for next
Sure,
time.
and I'll pick them up.
Okay.
I give those to principals and directors. And I'll go find this video. She's probably in the board. In the,
That's my
well,
copy.
that's yours. Yeah,
Well-
you can keep that, and you can keep the clipboard if you want.
No, I'll keep it there. I don't want to be responsible.
Would you like it with just a little teeny, teeny clown?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I like
At all.
I like keep more on it.
Yeah.
It's
You keep, oh,
snappy.
here, I'll put that one there. You keep those.
Okay, well, thank you for showing up. We do what we're gonna do.
Keep every penny that we have. Keep the clipboards.
Okay, thank you. And these stay here and they pick them, IT picks these up.
Yes.
Good deal.
He does not know what to say.
That's are there. Are you just not feeling right? Just tired and. So he has. Saturday was Memorial Slum Service. We'll do this. He's 85. He's ready. That's the second time I caught that. But, and then so yesterday was the Super Bowl and I had friends over. For youth basketball, you know, like everybody else does. He's already getting paid to be the organizer. I don't know. He can't do both things. He's supposed to be there running it, not repping it. He's already being paid to be there. But he and his brother are gonna be going to Delaware next year. So anyway, he has switching his company. And that's probably what he was talking about. It's just, yes. I can only do so much.
Nobody's ever even met someone.
I don't have an idea.
I'll get sick.
Yeah, well, you need to find out, because he's already being paid to
Right, I
run,
know.
not referee.
We'll be on the small.
He's getting paid to run the league.
No,
So,
but before that.
just to let you know, I talked to parent and getting 2 of the kids from over at Water Life Church to your school next year.
Don't leave the business in charge of organizing anything or setting up
I
anything.
know.
Take everyone in.
Well, the mom went to Del Rio and she had a bad taste when she went there. And I said, you know, we got new people, we got new teachers.
That's 20 years later. Yeah, 20 years later.
But I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
When I'm not
And
thinking about it, and that's when it'll pop in my head.
So.
Good.
That's anyway.
Okay. I'll be around. See you tomorrow,
I've been
Billy Boy.
tutoring him and
Bye-bye.
reading, but he needs an IEP.
Yeah,
He's
I was
more
still
than I
home
can
to the left.
Sure.
do for
And I-
him.
Sure,
And
sure,
I
sure.
was honest with her, I said, I will keep tutoring him and I'll keep working with him, but he needs a specialist that I'm not.
Right.
You know, but I don't mind working with him, you know, I helped his brother come from kindergarten to the 3rd grade level a few years ago, but.
We have to wait.
Yep.
Everybody else gets to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well.
And I told her about the
It could
CTE.
be worse.
That's what we signed up for, right?
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
His future.
Especially.
Wouldn't have otherwise.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it.
There's
Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
You
Got
okay?
another meeting. Oh, I'm tired.
Trying to
I'm
try
very
to
tired.
One of the things I do that is kind of a weird thing that works mostly if people are doing stuff like that is seeing what their natural neutral body position is. It's totally.
Mine is this.
If you shoot at that, one guy that would fart in the middle of a string of fire.
Of course.
How is that even a possible thing? Come to your campus, awesome. They both need IEPs. Okay, cool. We can take care of them. That's fine.
How often do they fight?
Yeah, well, no, but we can take care of it. That's fine. But it's like, okay, the percentage of IEPs in our district is just. I know. It's kind of cosmically. And it is what it is. I'm aware.
Okay.
It's categorically, and we'll take care of them when they come. It just seems like that's becoming a norm. Hey, gentlemen.
You said, will be a special ed district.
Yep, I'm out by.
Some people be in Wisconsin freezing.
Yeah. Ciao, good night.
And then the trick of it is opening just one eye and not taking that out of the sight to see where you're naturally aligned. Because as your eyes tell you, I need to be there. But your body neutral point is here. And so as you're going, because you super focused on sights, your body wants to to drift to neutral.
Hopefully they don't need these. I just logged them all out and I thought, oh, they have to come back in and vote, but
I doubt they will.
I don't think they need this.
No.
I mean, they'll do it again. Because otherwise you're fighting your body's neutral. We have one guy.
Okay, because I was standing that way.
Well, we have one guy that has always he's played basketball his whole life. That's what he does. And so he stands dead straight. I mean, his toes are dead even. And he's left. I'm like, drop this toe back to the arch of that foot. Drops back, dead center.
Oh, wow.
But he's so used to squaring up for basketball. And, he's played it his whole life. He's got his kids, right? And so he's used to squaring up. So almost every time we go to the range, he'd start left. Because so there's about 5 different things that can feed into it. But if you're more than happy to put up the move.
Oh, heck yeah.
Austin, you need a little snack? I'll get you some chips and meat and cheese.
I'm totally for that.
Okay,
yeah.
good. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna pull that out.
Are you done, John?
Good.
Okay, I'm gonna roll this back to my office.
You brought this one up from your office too?
Yeah, no, that was mine from here.
Oh, so
And
I'll put it back where it belongs.
I hid the other one without the arm.
All right.
All right. So ham and turkey's okay?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's used to In-N-Out Burger, Heidi.
Yeah.
I know he likes that animal style, protein style. Yeah, I don't know what you got, but that's
Good
what we got
stuff.
sometimes. We like the hardest part, we like is you've probably never been to Alberta.
Because it's so much more percentage.
No,
Back in the day, when high school, they had Bob's
Burger Shop, it was a big chain, maybe 30 of your Harvard.
Uh-huh.
And finally went bankrupt, but they were like Sizzler for Burger King. You could actually see the flames coming off of them.
That's cool.
And they kind of get to that a little bit in and out.
Right.
Just a little bit of that charcoal. I love that taste.
Yeah, it's a favorite of mine.
If it's on, I'm shooting.
My wife's not a huge fan, so I'm off Friday and she works, and so I'll go there and read and just, it's nice.
By the time
We like having lunch for $40. It's perfect.
See, and just the camping, yeah.
You could probably
It's
eat
already gone.
$60 worth of lunch there, but
So to chase it.
you don't need it.
I wouldn't want to.
And then we sometimes switch it up. You probably do this stuff with Olive Garden soup special. While we do that. All the soup you can eat, big salads, and it's usually $11 for lunch. And like,
Gotcha, every once in a while, yeah.
It's just
a few experiences there with
you sweep the body.
You'll get up and say,
Because you're not having to make sure this is all.
You like your language,
Yeah,
though.
we had 2 different
Learning some new words or
presentations
something?
that she did.
That doesn't, they don't like that. I've almost had a couple of fights on it. But then they serve those too.
Right.
And I think, I don't drink.
Because I was
Why are you here when you're swapping it off?
Yeah.
So, well, who are you? Well,
Especially
you know,
on
the
the
person
shoot, instead of here, they'll be there.
But you don't get too much together than a burger because it's such a family place.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Thanks for showing up to this thing.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
A little everything.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, I appreciate that.
Sure thing. Well, we appreciate you.
And they'll end up here.
And that's for us.
Of course. So they'll think that they're centered when they've got the front side completely off.
Oh.
But with the optic, again, it takes all that away. Just bring the dot out. So yeah. If you can,
I'm good, but thank you.
if there's that
He
much,
will.
I'm probably.
Yeah, Matt, you should.
Well, I'll let you go. Hopefully I see the.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll put my stuff away and
Help
help me clean up.
That's true. You guys have a blessed night.
I love you, Billy.
Love you, dude. Hey, remember that. If you love me, you won't leave.
You can always call me. You and your lovely wife can call me.
She's always in Atlanta.
Did you get enough of everything there, Austin?
Oh, yeah, she brought me a bunch. I'm
Okay.
totally thrilled.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I need to tell him because like that's part of my job. And I was like, he ain't gonna listen. He's just stinking stubborn.
Austin, you need something to drink?
Oh, no,
Okay.
I have this here. Thank you, though. Yeah, it's a classic. Oh, well. I highly doubt.
We'll go help
anyone
Cheyenne.
would ever come of it. I mean, actually tuned in is very low. But in a different town or setting that's like not even necessarily bigger, but just likes to do things online, it can be a lot different. Well, you know, when I went to play that video, and VLC was like, update, do this, do this.
No.
And like I already had it all pulled up. I just had to hit play.
Of course.
And I'm just like, all right, whatever. Just gotta make a fool out of me every once in a while.
Yeah, well. That's okay, I get a little tripped up when I talk about the kids and stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I do that, but it's like.
You mean it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's from all sincerity, so.
Yeah.
Whatever. You're just being you. I get it. I'm ready to go home now. At least my wife is in Cottonwood visiting a friend, so she's not waiting for me, so.
Oh, I gotta bring the other chair back. In here. Dawn's chair is missing an arm.
Oh, no.
And we can't figure out where did it go?
Oh, seriously, it just disappeared.
Well, we saw it last week and then Cindy saw it and then we've looked everywhere.
Oh, no.
So I just brought one with I lent him mine and put mine back in my office, but.
There you go.
I mean, I wouldn't think somebody would throw it away.
Right.
But you never know.
My bike club assistant coach is running a half marathon in Mesa this coming weekend.
Nice.
So it's his first, he's not much of a runner,
Hmm.
but he just kind of got pulled into it, and they have like the Town and Trails Run Club.
Hmm.
And so he knows the person who runs that, so he kind of got pulled in, but
Right.
I think he'll do really well. I guess it's kind of a really good like qualifier course
okay.
for things because it's all just slight downhill
Yeah,
and
that's-
low elevation and stuff like that. So
That's the Tucson one, man. The Tucson is a smoke and fast course. It's like constant downhill. You don't bang your knees up bad,
right.
but it's just enough of a downhill to where you just really can cruise.
Well, and I didn't realize that certain like marathons you have to qualify for.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Some people are looking for a course that can make it a
Yeah,
little
it has to
easier.
be US ATF, US Track and Field certified.
Mhm.
Um,
I guess this is one of those that people
Yeah.
use. Yeah.
Tucson is too,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one that a lot of people use. And it's twofold because there's some races, Boston, New York, whatever, that you have to submit a qualifier time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other things like all the other bigger races, like the Disney races and stuff. If you don't submit a qualifier time,
Mhm.
then you get put in the, if they have corrals A through G, you get put in like F and G.
Okay.
And so you don't start for 45 minutes after the first group.
Right. Right.
Then you're into the people that are going really slow. So, that's one of our things is we always try and have at least one, and they normally, it has to be within like 2 years.
Okay. That makes sense.
And so we always try and have at least one qualifier that we can use,
Mhm.
because otherwise, you're in the corrals already for an hour and a half before the race.
That sucks.
And then you're gonna wait another 45 minutes to start.
Yeah.
And then, the sun's coming up and then, all those pieces.
Right. You just want to just
Go.
get it over
Yeah.
with. Yeah. Just go. Yeah.
I was so excited, because we always run together, but I ended up running the Vegas Rock and Roll by myself one year. I can't remember if he was injured or just was like, I don't want to do it. I don't remember what it was. But I ran my personal best
Oh wow.
on that Vegas Rock and Roll.
Nice.
And I didn't even think about it, but then when we signed up for a Disney race, I'm like, I've got this. I mean, not smoking fast, but a fast qualifier.
Right.
So I'm like, sweet, I put in, and the thing is, most races, you don't know what group you're in or what corral you're in until you get there and pick up your stuff.
Oh really? Oh, that's a bummer.
And so.
I guess that makes sense though.
They used to, I think Disney used to tell you in advance, but I think they got so many complaints. And people, well, I really should be in this group. And it's better just when you get there.
Get what you get.
And if you want to complain, you can go straight to guest relations and complain.
That makes sense.
Once in a blue moon, they'll let you change or move up, but very rarely.
Right.
And, if you're higher, you can always drop back. That's no big deal. But, I had that Vegas qualifier, and then the next Disney race, we're normally, if we're lucky, we get B corral, but we're normally CD.
Okay.
That's just consistently where we end up with our time.
Uh-huh.
And it was one of the ones where there's 10K and the half. And so your bib will have 2 letters, one for each race. And when I had that qualifier, you just have a number, and then they have tables. And just go to whichever table.
Mhm.
Your number is in between.
Okay.
So we get there, we walk in, and I'm like, okay, here's my number. And they've got all the tables, and I'm at the first table.
Mhm. That's awesome.
And so I had what I call a double A bib, but it was A corral for both races.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, that was my first time having that. I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you're starting with that first group.
Right.
And the course is clear and.
Yeah,
you
that
can
is
just-
pretty sweet.
Oh, it was so nice.
I
But
wouldn't
then-
like the pressure of like
Yeah.
everyone,
Yeah,
but
well, there was that too.
still.
I'm like, I'm gonna start near the back.
There you go.
That way, if I'm passing people, great, but that way I'm not like in the way of
all of these people.
Right.
But then you get spoiled and you're like, and then when you have like a D crowd, you're like,
Right.
and the hard part again, we're not the people that are gonna show our way to the front.
Mhm.
And so we'll, indeed, like in C or D, we'll start most of the way to the front,
Right.
but then everybody crams in, and then we end up starting like 2/3 of the way back. People that are like 4 across and they're barely jogging and like,
It's like, why did you work your way up to the front to do this? Yeah. Yeah. And I get that. Yeah, that would be so annoying.
we had one at Disney World. It was raining and basically they will only cancel the races if it's dangerous, so basically lightning.
Mhm.
So it's raining, I mean, it's actively raining, not down, it's raining, and it's been raining.
Mhm.
And we're in like Decrest here, and there's places where it's tight, you know. Got this mass of people, and we're trying to, because we had trained up to where we were faster than where we started.
Mhm.
So we're trying to work our way through, but we come to a picket line across, and they're blocking the whole course. Having to, weasel around and weasel between them. Well, there was enough of a shoulder that you could go around them, but it was filled with water because it had been raining.
Right.
Well, we're soaked in it. It's been raining. We've been standing in the rain. Once you're wet, you're wet.
Right.
It's whatever. So Michelle and I skirt around them and go through this culvert, this little bit of drainage.
Mhm.
And of course, you're splashing water. As we go by them, and
Right.
like, oh, thanks a lot. Now I'm soaked. I'm like,
Everybody's soaked.
everybody's soaked. And if you
They're the
weren't-
problem.
if you weren't blocking the course, I wouldn't have had to run in the drainage to go around you.
What's so funny? You think everyone would be like, there'd be some camaraderie of,
There
we're all
is,
runners, but
But there's people getting their little bubble.
cycling's that way too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really.
There was like, we were in one crowd and this lady started, she's in like, again, I shouldn't gauge based on a tire, but sometimes it's like, you can tell me, And she's in like a tracksuit, a lower tracksuit with the big headphones, this, that, like, she's not running fast. And we end up passing her almost immediately. Well, we end up seeing her later. She was in the restaurant at the table next to us. Chance. The boyfriend had dinner. And he actually said, he goes, why did you force your way up to the front of the corral when you know that that's not where you belong?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I wanted to establish my pace. So did everybody else.
They're also establishing on their pace. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that kind of stuff that makes it.
Right.
One of my other favorites was I did one of the Disney 5Ks. I had trained pretty hard for and had, actually it wasn't even as fast as my biggest. But
Is the sound up in here now?
It's still going. Everything's still going. I think that's what we want until we adjourn.
yeah,
So
I think so.
but I ended up breaking out with the first group. And so I was in probably like 30 people total for, I mean, it's a few thousand people.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning, the first mile of the race is like backwater, whatever. But then you run through Disneyland. And by that point, it was so spread out that I was all by myself.
Wow.
It was so
That's so nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Because you ran, I ran into Disneyland and there were still people kind of around me, and then it gradually, they spread out in front of me and then the people fell out behind me. So the last mile, which was through the park and then down Disney Main Street, or Disney, downtown Disney, back toward the hotel, there was no one within sight in front of or behind him. So I'm running by myself, and of course, normally you're running in hundreds of people, or you'd spread out some, but
yeah.
So it's enough, and of course it's pre-dawn, so it's dark in the park. It got to the point where I had trouble telling where the course was, because normally you're just following the flow of people.
Right,
And there were a couple times I'm running, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm still on the course.
Wow.
Other than, you know, there's cast members.
Mhm.
But I remember, 'cause I don't know if you know Disneyland well or not.
It's been a long time, so kind of.
So there's, you kind of, where Pirates of the Caribbean is, there's kind of a path up and then there's a bridge kind of over the queue.
Okay.
And you double back right there. And there were cast members there, and I just remember running that by yourself. There's nobody else around.
Yeah.
And you're running through the park, and it's winter. When else are you gonna be by yourself?
So cool.
It was really a cool experience. But again, it's so hard to be, as far as how fast you have to be and everything. It's so hard to be in a place like that.
Right.
But that was really cool because I think I finished like overall or something. And even to like the finish line, I was by myself.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. Done like a couple mountain bike races, and like the first one I did, I was just like in great shape. I was like 25, and like I didn't have anything to worry about but just going and biking. And I was like, oh, I'll go to the back, like this is my first time and stuff. And man,
You don't want to be that guy.
exactly, yeah. And so I did, but I really should have tried to break it up further because like especially on single track, you have to be like, hey, I'm passing, and like I lost so much
And once you
time.
get stuck.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, I really should have just sprinted at but it was like road at the beginning, which was not my strong suit. Like once I hit the trail, like that's when I caught up to everybody and was just passing a gazillion people. And
Every once in a while, we'll manage to get ourselves like perfect for where we are, to where the people around you are starting at about the same pace, and you're all just smooth.
That's so nice.
Breaking out, but boy, it's not very often. So
we'll see how this goes for Eric. I think it'll be good. He ran his first half ever in the Dells like last week, and that was rough for him. But like that has a little bit of elevation gain, and like he did it. And so once he gets down to Phoenix and there's the other people around and all that, he'll fly through.
and on a road course and the lower elevation.
Yeah.
So. And the Dells, it's super deceptive.
It is. Yeah. It feels like it, or it looks like it should be perfectly flat, but
every time we run it, Michelle's like, it is uphill both ways. She goes, I swear it's uphill both ways.
A little bit.
Because it's never enough of a downhill to be a benefit.
Right.
But and the uphills are just subtle enough that you're like,
yeah. From the Humane Society parking lot to the Iron King and PB and back, and
oh yeah, we've run that. Iron King, I love that until you break out of the Dells.
Yeah, and especially it's so much worse now because they have all the houses
Oh yeah,
there and stuff.
before it was built up, at least it was just open field. You'd have the antelope.
Oh yeah, tons of antelope there. Thankfully, I got to experience that for like a year. I moved here and then they tore it all up, and I was very upset. But
Yeah, now you're running through the city basically.
yeah.
Yeah, if he did that course, because I know that stretch well, then a flat downhill course down in the valley.
He'll do fine.
He'll be totally fine. Plus you've got aid stations and stuff instead of having to take care of yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Because like at a half marathon, I'll normally carry at least a water bottle. But I won't necessarily carry any food or anything.
Right.
No, because she needs to eat about every 4 miles or so-ish.
Gotcha. Just in case.
Yeah, so it's, sometimes I'll bring stuff just so I have stuff. Well, that's cool. He'll be fine. The elevation thing makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And if he's been training, doing trail type stuff, then than the road is.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Question.
Yeah.
Like, you wanna come out with me? Mm-mm, no, I'll stay on my bike. Used to love it, but once I found the bike, I was like, I don't wanna run anymore. But
Well, it's funny because road and trail, I like road because you can just shut your brain off and just go.
Right.
Michelle loves trail because you have to focus, and so she doesn't think about everything else.
Right.
And I've learned to enjoy trail for that.
Mhm.
But at first I'm like, I just like road because I can. Well, there's both. There's ups to both, you know. They're doing Rock and Roll Vegas again because it is cool to run down the strip at night.
Right.
It's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
when you get to like do that, that's,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's one of the two things they closed the strip for.
Okay, that's amazing.
That and the I think IndyCar or whatever race.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's only 2 events a year that they actually close the strip to traffic.
So you're doing it at night?
Yeah, it's also it's a night race.
See, that's when Vegas is the only time it's pretty because of all the
So
lights.
you start about a half an hour, 45 minutes before the sun goes down. So unless you're super fast, you're running most of it at night.
Right.
Yeah, and you run all the way up to Fremont Street and kind of do a little squares just to get the mileage in. And then back down the strip.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
at night, the northern part is a little dicey.
At least it's a sanctioned event.
Yeah.
You know, you'd hope.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you'll have the occasional homeless guy on the side of the road yelling at you or something.
Right.
But to run down the strip, yeah, in the middle of and because you start around the MGM and you run south down just past the Welcome to Vegas sign.
That's cool.
And then loop around and then run all the way up. Back down to about the Mirage, I think is where you finished.
Okay.
But I mean, you want to talk about chaos. As soon as you're off the course, because the strip is still, I mean, Vegas is still Vegas.
Yeah.
And so you've got all these runners that are beat up and got all their gear or their, blankets that they give you and whatever milers were. But then you've got all the regular people walking the strip.
Yeah.
Plus the road is closed, so it's getting back to like your hotel.
Oh, I'm sure it's a mess.
I'm
sure people go and visit and they're like, we picked the worst time to be here.
Sure.
They're probably so mad.
Oh, yeah. And like when you're walking to the start area, they've shut the strip down to traffic already. And Vegas, I feel bad for Vegas Metro cops because I know what this feels like.
Yeah.
You got all these people that are like, oh, I'm trying to get there. And they're like, it's closed, man.
Yeah. That's going to be such a mess for them.
I watched them the one year our hotel room actually faced to where I could watch them close the roads. And I mean, it's a trick because you got to close all the feeders, all the feeder roads. But it is cool to run down the strip.
I bet.
Because, like I say, after the race is miserable. You're beating. But everybody else is doing their thing because they're on Vegas Strip.
Right, they're having great.
And the problem is, if you stay like way down at the south end, like Mandalay Bay, or one of the ones way at the south end, it's super easy to get to your hotel after the race, but to get to the start area is a pain because you got to swim upstream to get to that.
So you choose
which end
trade-off.
Which end you want to suffer.
Yeah. So, oh man.
One and all people that are just there to party are looking at you.
Right. What are you doing
You're
here?
in running shorts and then, you got your medal and yours.
Right.
And of course, they don't care that you just ran a half marathon.
Oh, no.
And beat up.
Not at all.
So,
These days, I really want to take my bike down to downtown Phoenix and just ride around that way to see it, but
Oh, that'd be interesting.
because it's cool and it takes a long time to get around by car.
Yeah.
And it's not, I feel decent there on a bike. Like if anyone were to mess with me, you just, you're out of there. Yeah. But this winter, it's been so warm.
Yeah.
Like we were down in Mesa riding a couple weekends ago. And it was like, body is used to the cold mornings. It's like I could feel my like face heating up, and I'm just like, oh, this sucks. Like this is, it's the end of January, like, but yeah, it's been rough for them down there.
Yeah. When we were in New York, seeing the people riding their bikes,
Yeah, that's crazy.
they're just dodging in and out, crossing against lights all the time.
We're not doing that. No,
I'm like, you're gonna die.
Right?
But they, I mean, if you do it every day.
Yeah.
And or they're like messengers and delivery people. and
Right.
stuff.
Wrong timing, and no matter how good you are,
Yeah. I about got picked off crossing the street. Because, I mean, down where we are, where there's all the traffic, all the tourists and everything. And so it's just wall to wall. And the traffic was at a dead standstill. And I'm like, I can hustle across. And I start to go, and right then cars start moving. And you're like, oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's a whole different world. That is a whole different world.
Yeah. Oh, man. Probably food though, because I think I ate around like 10:30 this morning.
That's my problem. I ate lunch super early.
Yeah. Depends on what I have going on, and
Or else I have to wait until like 1.
Right. Sometimes I do that too. I like to take it really late so that I can, feel like I'm going home sooner, but
I will sometimes, but with how early we get up.
so that means they're out.
No.
No. Start bike club up hopefully first Thursday of March.
Nice.
Because I want to get at least a weekend before spring break.
Oh, yeah.
And prepping the kids for field trips, basically.
Oh.
Did a little bit of that at the end of last season. Like, hey, us and everyone needs to stick together. And if you guys want to go anywhere, you're not gonna run off in the woods,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
So, yeah, and then I'll have to figure that out. Particularly with my IT position and things like that, but, I'm sure we'll make it work.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a fun little adventure here and there midweek for me, and
They seemed like they were having a great time.
oh, yeah, we always had a blast. Really hope that the weather doesn't turn as soon as we start. I have a feeling it's going to, but
It seems
the kids
like-
would love it. They want to ride in the snow. They're,
yeah, of course. Let's make a mess.
right, exactly.
So they have to clean the bikes.
Right. So we'll see with sixth grade staying.
Oh,
I
yeah.
might even keep the kids because I talked to the program and they're like, yeah, the goal is to keep the kids like kind of as long as you can.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's kind of their philosophy.
Well,
So,
that would be awesome.
well, we'll see.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that, but that would be really,
Yeah.
really cool. So they come back, right, and audit after this year, or do
What's
they
that?
audit the program after the first year, basically, or they just make sure
Yeah, they had me send in a lot of stuff and then like tomorrow after work, Eric's gonna come by, we're gonna inspect all the bikes and then I think their regional manager will come visit before we start and yeah, I just kind of give them data. They have the kids like fill out these like questionnaires and all the kids are like, what does peers mean? Like, what does this mean? Like, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna put this. It's like,
yeah,
well, okay.
It's cool.
But then, yeah, hopefully after a year, like build some trail
Well,
or
that's what I thought
something.
that was the deal, was after a year.
Kind of was, yeah. I
If
just want to
you
make
should-
sure that I'm not gonna just like drop it,
Right.
So,
Do 1 year and go, eh.
right. Yeah. I have some plans to put some obstacles out there and different stuff and that hopefully have the archery situation taken care of with the impenetrable wall. Then we should be good. So,
yeah.
I know the new coach and she's, yeah. Me and Eric were very tempted over like Christmas break to just go turn the entire thing 90 degrees.
Well, I thought about that and then I was like, yeah, you got the sun.
Yeah, but, well,
I know, but I think that's the biggest issue of why it's oriented the way it is because you're gonna be shooting into the afternoon sun. But no, because I had thought about that.
Yeah. But we should be able to ride the whole course this time, whereas last season we did that like twice. And the kids, every time we're like, can we ride over there, please? And I'm just like, no. So. Back up again.
Yeah.
Good timing to having January off because going crazy with the Ed Leo mass communication stuff, like nuts. So. currently trying to figure out how to, I think I have a pretty good system of how to recreate these valve caps with Lego heads. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right? Yeah. So, you have to drill out like the top hole so that like the little tiny bit of the valve can barely stick through.
Okay.
And then they're so close to like the perfect thread size, but just a little loose. So I've experimented with putting just a tiny layer of like epoxy in there and then threading it back and forth to make the threads. So
that's cool. I like it.
yeah. So I got
Those are cool.
Spider-Man one for my bike and a Gandalf for a friend of mine. And
Nice.
I gotta figure out what Eric would want. He's like not into that, but yeah.
Epoxy, or the only other thing I can think of right off the top of my head would be like that. It's kind of like epoxy, but that the JB weld.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah. It's
That stuff turns rock hard.
Exactly.
And if you got it threaded,
right. So it should be easy. I even thought about like, well, on that website, that's like a European only thing.
Yeah, it looked like.
And they're selling a pair for like $25 equivalent. Buy that stuff from Bricklink in like bulk.
Yeah.
You could make good money. If I just went down just to the Whiskey Off-Road for a day and, so we'll see. But for now, I'll just make some for friends and stuff and it'll be fun.
That's super cool.
So,
Those are cool.
Yeah.
I never thought of that, but yeah.
Yeah, they're almost the perfect
Yeah,
size.
thinking about minifig and the opening and everything.
Yeah. They make them too on that site for the bigger valves, like a car one, but you really have to drill them out.
Yeah,
a,
you would.
a decent amount where I'm like, I don't want to do
You're not
that.
gonna have much of a show left.
No, you have to be really careful too. You almost have to have something to clamp it in place and go down, but yeah.
Yeah, once you got the depth, like if you had a drill press, once you got the depth right and everything, you could do it, but you'd have to do a lot of tinkering.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure once Bike Club starts, you'll have to look for it on my bike. I'll probably just do one on the front for now. And,
that's fun. I like that.
Yeah. I went down to that Lego store downtown and picked out the few heads and stuff. It was perfect. It cost me like $15 total for like the stuff I wanted. The expensive thing was I had to buy the whole Gandalf minifigure, which was $10, which I'm like, whatever. I'll take the head and then I'll take his other stuff and just put a normal head in there and have it. But
yeah, if you go on like the pick brick or whatever,
oh yeah. Well, there's some people that I don't know how or why they're doing it. But like I looked up like the Spider-Man head, some person in like Germany selling like I have 45 Spider-Man heads for sale. And it's just like, well, I don't know what you're doing, but sure. And they're all like 39 cents each or something. You're paying more for shipping.
Right.
But
those are funny. I haven't seen those before.
But yeah. So
I like that.
So once I just want to get it really nice and refined.
Yeah.
Where it looks clean and screws on clean and feels like it's meant to be. So.
Yeah, I know. Like JB might do
it
unless it's too aggressive. But
I used super glue to start with, and that worked pretty well. It's just it can be a little bit gritty, like. I feel like JB Weld or some kind of epoxy like that would be good. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I figured you'd get a kick out
I
of
like that one.
That Lego store was pretty cool.
I haven't been in there.
It's worth like going in. It's just fun to look and stuff and old stuff and like bunch of minifigures and stuff. So that's kind of like a fun little downtown thing.
Right. Yeah, I just have never gotten in there.
Yeah, it's over by like that Firehouse Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully they do well to lights on. It's always places like that that I'm like, in this town, it's hard, but
Yeah, it really
hopefully.
is.
Getting ready to come back out here.
Okay.
Did you lock that in?
No, I haven't. I do just because.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Yeah, you're like 7 o'clock. When I go home, I try to eat, I get home usually at 5:30, 6. I try to eat like around 6:30.
I try to eat really early and I never eat that many carbs, but I was starving, so I eat everything on my plate.
Do what you gotta
I try,
do.
when, during the week, during the, weekend, I eat early, like 5 o'clock, 5:30.
As late as it could be.
Next time we have to go to the executive session, I'll make sure we still only have 3 people.
Well, all your papers and stuff are still, well, some people's.
I took all my stuff.
Did you eat dinner?
Yes, Heidi was so sweet and brought me a full plate.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
I wasn't in here, but yeah, it is cold in here.
Oh, that's.
Our computers are gone, oh my gosh.
Thank goodness, I won't remember how to get in.
We gotta wait for Marcia.
Marcia.
7:36.
I'm always the last one.
Good, I'm glad
I'm
everybody
the
ate.
oldest one on the block, so.
And had a little something, something.
Did we keep our awards? I said I'm the oldest one on the block.
I think
so I'm
John,
the-
her last one.
Oh,
That's okay.
All righty.
Oh, he took
Maybe I'll
them.
just, oh, that's fine. Instead of sitting down, I just.
I'm going to go, we are back in open session, and if I could have a motion to either approve or deny superintendent's performance pay.
I'll make a motion. We're both at it again. I'll
Both
make
of
a
you do it.
motion that we go ahead and honor agreement.
Yes, thank you. And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good night, everyone.
See what you guys,
So-
waited around.
Yes.
That's funny.
And that's